rushing yards last week. Can you just talk about the matchup between your O-line and their D-line?
Talking about Alabama?
Yeah.
Well, you know, they're not only the number one team, but the number one defense, and they've got a lot of talent and a lot of people. You know, they play a lot of different guys, and they're big. All of them pretty good sized guys, and what they do well, they're well coached, and they play well with their hands, and they play relentlessly. And they can because they can substitute, and they can get fresh people out there all the time. So we certainly are excited about the challenge. I'm glad we're not playing them week one. I'm glad we're playing them week 7 as we've progressed a little bit. We know we have our work cut out for us, but we're really, really excited about going and playing Alabama.
With Tyler a little dinged up, does that make your guys' job even more important, protecting him?
I don't know. I think he still has as much mobility as he has before. You just don't want to get him hit, you know. But I think he still has that. You know, he's kind of slippery is what he is. He's not really going to break the pocket and go for a 50-yard run, but he's really slippery, and he's really a big key of why we don't have as many sacks, you know, along with our backs, and our wideouts have done a nice job. But I don't think so as long as we don't get him hit. Now, if we start getting him hit, that means, you know, that it could be a problem.
If you would just talk about the depth that Alabama has along that defensive front. I would imagine it's as deep a defensive line as you'll face.
It probably is deep a D-line, a deep a team, you know, as you're going to face. There's a reason why they've won all these games in a row and all that. And, but like I say, there's a first team for a reason, because their guys are maybe just a smidgen better than the other guys. But you talk about drop-offs in a lot of teams, and there's just really not a drop-off in Alabama. And they bring a guy in, and he's fresh, versus our guy who's in his 30th rep or he's in his 8th play of the drive, and they bring a guy in that's in his first play. They do the same thing at linebacker. Maybe as good a linebacker group as you're going to see. The linebackers are incredible on this team. But Coach said they don't. I'm sure they recruit, but you know what I mean. They get who they want, and they've obviously done a nice job of evaluating talent, and they've certainly got it.
Talk about that aspect of game management where you perhaps don't have as deep a rotation on the offensive line as they do on their defensive front.
Well, we don't want a lot of rotation on our guys because we want to feel what they're doing on defense and make sure that we can relate to the calls and get everything going on what we're supposed to get going. And we'd like guys who have seen something happen already before if we can. Now, the difference is on the O-line, the ball is setting. If you and I are playing each other, you my ball. And so I'm going this far. I'm going to strain. I'm going to do everything. But a D lineman, his ball could be out here, back here, over here, 30 yards over there. And so I feel like they have to exchange defensive linemen more than offensive linemen because they have to go further than we do.
Talk about the performance against Mississippi State. Even though Tennessee started to see some of the running backs go out of the game due to injury, the line kept opening holes, even if it was for Cordero back there.
Well, it's not hard to open it for him, you know. But, you know, our backs, Jay's done such a nice job with the running backs, and they run hard. And you know, I didn't even know that we had a back or two hurt. I just knew that I thought Jay was just rotating backs, you know, and all that. And, of course, Dev came in and ran really hard and all that. But we're just getting better every week. I mean, that's the whole thing. And regardless of the competition, if we just get better every week, maybe here at the end of some fourth quarter, we'll start winning these games. And we've got to get better, and I think we are getting better, but we have a long way to go, and our kids understand that. So I think the running game of Mississippi State, we were physical, we got on the right guys, we had no pre-snap penalties, played a little better. Yeah.